The shirt says never surrender?
That's right.
And that's from when he surrendered and got his mugshot taken?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thanks for letting me know.
This guy caught it, but I'm not sure that this one did.
So what is that?
That's best president of the United States.
All right, that's Donald Trump with his mugshot, right? It says never surrender.
Never surrender.
Okay, that is a picture of him surrendering to Georgia authorities, though, right?
Fair. He's the best president of America.
Okay, but that literally is a picture of him surrendering, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
It's not about making any sense. It's about cheering for your guy with fake tough guy slogans while your MAGA representative comes up with nonsensical solutions to the problem of your party supporting a convicted felon.
And just on the conviction, you want him to cut off funding for some of the local prosecutors. Is that along the lines?
Absolutely. That would be part of it. The state of New York needs to overturn these convictions. It's absurd. They have gone down.
Of course, Johnson can't do anything to force the state to overturn the convictions. So
no, but we do control the budget and we control appropriations. And he really needs to step up and talk to the guys over there and tell them that, no, you're not getting money for many things until Chuck Schumer, you're from New York. You guys need to have a talk and realize the road that they've taken this country down. This is a banana republic. We're no longer a serious government. And countries all over the world are making fun of us now. It's insane. It's absolute insanity. So he needs to use the power that he has as Speaker of the House, and he can do that.
Still not sure what she's even demanding be done. She admits that Mike Johnson can't intervene after the state of New York adjudicated the case, but he can somehow cut off funding and talk to the guys over there and force Chuck Schumer, because he's from New York, to use the power as Speaker of the House, and he can do that. But what the hell is she talking about? This is why having emotional and wildly reactionary people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump in office is dangerous. They act on their anger without even considering if it makes any sense. She has no idea how anything works, but wants to control it, all while Mike Johnson follows her lead.
Marjorie Taylor Greene has said that she's going to trigger a privileged resolution to impeach President Biden this week if you don't move on that. Have you had any discussions on that yet? And is that something you'd be open to doing now?
We haven't talked about it. I mean, in general, the impeachment power is one that we wield very carefully here, as I've said so many times. Next to the declaration of war, it's the heaviest power that Congress has. It needs to be very methodical. Look, there's no question. President Biden, I think, is the worst president. I think President Biden is the worst president in the history of the country. And there may well be impeachable offenses. There's an investigation process that's gone about that has been looked at of our committees of jurisdiction, and the process continues. So I'm not making any commitment on that this morning. We have to let the constitutional process and our constitutional responsibility play out.
Johnson knows trying to impeach Biden wouldn't do anything except make House Republicans look even worse after their time in control has resulted in kicking their own speaker out and killing a border bill that they'd normally celebrate, because they've already announced that they work solely to get the same felon elected. This is how committed they are to the question of impeachment that Johnson just dodged.
Well, I mean, I'm just here to help him, right? And so I just think we should do it today. Let's just call for it. I'll make the motion, Mr. Chairman. I want to help you out. You can second it, right? Like, make the motion to impeach President Biden. Go ahead. It's your turn. You second it. No, nothing. Okay, we got nothing. So I want to, with my last couple minutes, show the American people that they're never going to impeach Joe Biden. It's never going to happen because they don't have the evidence. Okay, this is a show. It's all fake. They just want to do these hearings. It's not leading to impeachment. They're lying to their base on Newsmax and Fox, leading these people to believe that they're going to eventually impeach the president. It's not going to happen at all, ever. Period. They don't even have the votes, even if they had it in committee. They don't have the votes on the floor. They know that. They got members resigning rather than taking a vote on the fake, faux impeachment. Just ask Ken Buck, who said the speaker ain't going to get me to take an unconstitutional impeachment vote. I mean, boy.
It's all right in front of everyone's faces. But this party's thriving off the fact that their voters didn't see them scurry away from the opportunity to officially impeach Biden. And since Trump has convinced them that any news that isn't spun by his choice of right-wing media figures is fake, MAGA won't consider the reality of the two-tier justice system that they're trying to push, one that works primarily for their guy.
We've got to make crimes criminal again. I mean, it's just common sense. President Trump has done nothing wrong here, and he continues to be the target of endless lawfare. It has to stop. And you're going to see the United States Congress address this in every possible way that we can, because we need accountability. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's bigger than President Trump. It's about the people's faith in our system of justice. And we're going to get down to the bottom of it. All these cases need to be dropped because they are a threat to our entire system.
It's a trick that the speaker has adopted, claiming that he's not doing all this because of Trump, but because we need to protect and reinforce the people's trust in the legal system. The legal system that MAGA is baselessly making sure to paint as corrupt and untrustworthy.
When the verdict came down against President Trump, there was something palpable that happened around the country. And I don't know if you sensed it where you were and among the groups where you were over the last week, but people realized that we have reached a new low. And when you have activist prosecutors and the Democratic Party who are so desperate because of the presidential campaign and the way it's going, they understand that Donald Trump, all the polling shows, is crushing Joe Biden. They're in panic mode on the Democratic side. And they are so desperate to stop Donald Trump. He's winning in the swing states. He's winning among the people. He's winning among new demographics that have never voted Republican before. They see this happening, and they're so desperate to stop him that they are willing to use the judicial system to do so. It is a new low, and it's a dangerous one, because what they're doing is they're eroding the people's faith in our system of justice itself. As Leader Scalise said, people have to believe that justice is blind. You have to believe that there is equal justice under the law in order to maintain a constitutional republic. This goes to the very core of who we are, the foundation of who we are as a nation, and that's why it's bigger than just President Trump. It's bigger than just these cases. It's about our system itself.
Why does this guy think donating the energy of disappointment and disgust onto Americans after the verdict is convincing? Many Americans felt joy and a reinforced trust in our judicial system now that a serial lawbreaker was convicted despite his position of power. Allowing a guy that barked about how he should be above the law to walk simply because he's Donald Trump would actually erode more people's trust than it would help. But he doesn't know what else to say because Johnson's playbook is thin. He used that same simplistic tactic over the fake-ass conspiracy about the 2020 election.
You know, I'm not saying that everybody involved in Georgia was trying to steal the election. I'm saying that the system is set up for massive fraud and error and irregularity, and we cannot have that in our election system. And that's why we're saying exhaust all the legal remedies. We have to do that. The president knows we have to do that. If we don't, people are not going to have any confidence in the election system itself, and that is a serious problem in a constitutional republic.
So to them, the stolen election erodes trust. Donald Trump being convicted erodes trust. But when faced with a clear example of this two-tiered Biden-influenced judicial system going after his son Hunter, suddenly Mike Johnson can't find any erosion. I wonder why.
Mr. Speaker, as you know, Hunter Biden, the president's only surviving son, is being criminally prosecuted right now in a Delaware court. Given that, do you think that that's proof that there is not a double standard, as you say, in the criminal justice system?
No, I don't think one case proves that at all. We have rogue prosecutors around the country that have drugged President Trump through this process because of who he is. Everybody knows if it wasn't him, the charges in Manhattan would never have been brought, and they would not be dragging this out as they are and seeking potentially prison term and all of that. Everybody acknowledges that. Legal experts on both sides of the aisle acknowledge that. Nor would these other cases have been brought. The classified documents case.
So far, all he's got is everybody knows, but nothing based in reality. Who's everybody and how do they know? Who are all these scholars on both sides that say everybody knows? It's lazy, dishonest politics. That's why he went on to change the subject before going back to telling everyone what they think.
Still, no one's gone after President Biden for his abuses with classified documents, which was more and more locations and all the rest. Look, it doesn't matter what they do to orchestrate or try to put window dressing on this. The American people can see right through it. The American people are intelligent, and they understand intuitively what's happening here, and they see a two-tiered system, and they see that President Trump is being targeted for who he is, because he is soon to be the official nominee of one of the two main parties in the country. He's the opponent of the president, and so the president and his Department of Justice have, participated in this, given it a pat on the back and endorsed all of this stuff that's happening against him, and Democrats cheered when the verdict came down. I mean, it's just blatantly on display for everybody. So I think that's what's frustrating the American people. I think they've had enough of it, and I think there's going to be a reckoning on November 5th about this.